Welcome to HP Sprinter. This demonstration presents the HP Sprinter defect reporting and annotations features. Sprinter enables you to easily submit defects directly to HPALM during your test run. You can also submit smart defects to include detailed run information that is automatically collected and added by Sprinter. Using smart defects can increase your productivity and provide improved defect information while saving the time it can take for developers to understand and reproduce defects. Screen captures and annotations are some of the types of useful information that can be included in a smart defect. Let's start by running a test from HPALM in Sprinter, which verifies the book a flight process of the Mercury Tours web application. As we follow the test steps, we navigate to the Book a Flight page. When we identify a defect in our application, we can choose to either submit a defect immediately during our run or to add a defect reminder to our run. A defect reminder enables us to continue our test flow and submit a defect with all the necessary information when the run ends. For the purpose of this demonstration, let's assume that the total price that is displayed on this page is incorrect. In this case, we want to submit a defect in HPALM immediately and include a screen annotation with our defect to demonstrate the problem. We first need to add annotations to a screen capture of our display, so let's click the Annotations workspace button in the Tools sidebar. The Annotation workspace opens. A screen capture of our display is automatically taken, and we can annotate areas in the capture. We highlight the price and add a text explanation of the defect. We can also use the Annotation Tools to detect defects in the user interface. Let's select the Ruler tool from the Annotations tool sidebar and measure the size of different elements. To submit this defect to HPALM, we will select the Smart Defect option from the sidebar. A Smart Defect will help us easily submit an informative defect. In the Defect Details dialog box, we can select the information that we want to include in our defect. It enables us to select which steps we want to include in the defect description. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will include the test steps which were performed before we found the incorrect value in the total price. We will also include the user actions which were performed on the application up to this point in the run. Documenting the list of user actions that were performed can be very helpful in reproducing defects. It is specifically useful during an exploratory test. We can see a preview of the information that will be included in the defect description in the Description Preview area. We decide to include our annotated screen capture and a movie of the run activity before we detected the defect. After selecting our options, we click the Submit Defect button. In the HPALM New Defect dialog box, all the information that we chose to include in the defect is displayed in the description and attachments of the defect. We can edit this information before submitting the defect. When we click the OK button, the defect is submitted to HPALM. The submitted defect now includes information and images that will assist the developer in understanding and recreating the defect. The defect in HPALM is automatically linked to the run and to any requirements with which this test is associated. You can also use the New Defect option to open the HP-ALM New Defect dialog box directly with no predefined content. Let's close the annotation workspace and continue our run. For the purpose of this demonstration, let's assume the credit card expiration date field is not indicated as a required field, which is a defect. To avoid interrupting the flow of our run by submitting a defect now, let's create a defect reminder. A defect reminder enables us to create a reminder and to submit the defect at a later time. We select the defect reminder option from the Tools sidebar. We add a short description of the nature of the defect that we found to the reminder. To end the run, we click the Stop button in the Run Control sidebar. The run report is now displayed. We can view a summary of the defects we submitted to HP-ALM. Let's navigate to the Defect Reminders pane. The list of defect reminders we created is displayed. Let's select the reminder we created and click on Submit Defect to submit the defect to HP-ALM. All the step, action, and screen capture information that was available during the run is also available at the end of the run. We choose the information we want to include in the defect and submit the defect to HP-ALM. In this demonstration, we presented several powerful tools which allow you to easily and effectively submit defects during a test run. You can find more information about these tools and other Sprinter features in the HP Sprinter User Guide.